This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
This is your WCFW Daily News Roundup for 105.7 CFW in Chippewa Falls and 93.5 The Tap in Eau Claire.
For WCFW News, I'm James Kelly. The former Glenwood City School District Superintendent accused of stealing over $100,000 appeared in court on Thursday. 52-year-old Timothy Johnson was charged with 17 felonies nearly 2 months ago, including laundering money, forgery, and misconduct of office. He was accused of keeping tens of thousands of dollars in education reimbursements for classes at Viterbo University that he didn't take and making improper investments with another district official. Johnson was released on signature bond. The City of Menominee is now offering solid waste site permits for 2025. Residents can go online to fill out the form to receive the permit, which allows them to utilize the city's solid waste and recycling site. After filling out the online form, residents will have their address verified and receive their solid waste permit within 10 business days. Both homeowners and renters will be able to apply for either one or two permits. If you don't want to fill out the permit application online, you can pick up an application in person at your local solid waste site. A preliminary hearing for the Minnesota man charged in a 50-year-old Dunn County cold case was postponed this week. According to court records, 84-year-old John Miller was scheduled to appear in court on Thursday, but the preliminary hearing was rescheduled for December 4th. Miller was arrested earlier this month and charged with first-degree murder in relation to the 1974 death of Mary Schlase, who was hitchhiking from Minneapolis to Chicago. Law enforcement authorities say they identified Miller as a suspect with the use of DNA testing. The Rice Lake City Council will review the 2023 budget audit report at their meeting on Tuesday. According to the report, the city ended 2023 with its assets exceeding its liabilities by over $100 million, and the ending fund balance was over $10 million. The fund balance is about $2 million lower than it was at the end of 2022, but the city also decreased its long-term debt by about $2.3 million. Rice Lake officials attributed much of that $2 million decrease to funding put into the Main Street reconstruction project. As the weather starts to cool down for good, Chippewa Valley nonprofits that assist the unhoused population are growing concerned about their services. The Chippewa Valley has seen a sharp increase in homelessness over the last year, particularly in the Eau Claire area. That unhoused population increase has area nonprofits worried that they won't be able to offer enough services to ensure everybody has a safe place to sleep and a good meal to eat. A number of organizations that provide shelter services say they're already short on space. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services is reporting stronger vaccination numbers as the peak season for respiratory viruses arrives. According to DHS officials, slightly more Wisconsin residents have been vaccinated for the flu and COVID this year. The overall increase may not be much, but it is a positive development after seeing a decrease in vaccination rates across the state in recent years. Health officials are advising more residents to get their vaccinations as outbreaks of COVID and the flu begin to pop up across the state. A 75-year-old Cameron man was killed in Turtle Lake on Tuesday while trying to move a deer out of the road. According to Turtle Lake authorities, the man was driving a truck near Highway 8 and 2nd Street at around 5:40 on Tuesday night when he hit a deer. He then went into the road to remove the deer and was hit by two vehicles. When authorities responded, the man was pronounced deceased at the scene, and Highway 8 was closed for several hours. The Barron County District Attorney's Office is investigating the circumstances of the accident. 3 people were taken to the hospital on Thursday morning following a 2-vehicle crash in Chippewa Falls that authorities called substantial. According to the Chippewa Falls Police Department, the crash involved a van and a semi-truck near the intersection of Seymour Cray Boulevard and Park Avenue. There were 3 occupants in the van who were taken to the hospital following the crash. Authorities say the driver of the semi was uninjured. The collision forced the temporary closure of State Highway 178 northbound near County Highway J. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is looking for community input on the statewide Comprehensive Outdoor Recreation Plan. The plan is updated every 5 years to ensure Wisconsin residents can take full advantage of the outdoor recreation options across the state and keep Wisconsin eligible for the Land and Water Conservation Fund State Assistance Program. A draft of the plan and the online public input form are available on the Department of Natural Resources website, and public comments will be accepted until December 15th. With the gun deer hunting season getting underway this weekend, Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources officials are encouraging hunters to participate in their deer donation program. The program has been helping to stock food pantries across the state ahead of the holiday season for over 20 years, and hunters have donated over 94,000 deer since its inception. To donate a deer, hunters must field dress it, register it, and test it for chronic wasting disease, and then contact their local processor to ensure they have space. For WCFW News, I'm James Kelly.
The Packers missing some players. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Green Bay Packers host the 49ers at Lambeau Field, but head coach Matt LaFleur says they'll likely be without two of their best defensive starters. Cornerback Jair Alexander has a torn PCL, suffered 3 weeks ago in Jacksonville. Then at Wednesday's practice, rookie linebacker Edgerrin Cooper pulled a hamstring.
Did not practice for Jair and Edgerrin Cooper.
Any concern about Sunday for him?
Yes.
Kickoff at 3:25. College football, Wisconsin heads to Nebraska to play the Cornhuskers at Memorial Stadium. Game time tomorrow, 2:30. Nebraska 1.5-point favorites. NBA, it's the Bucks and the Pacers tonight in Milwaukee.
Okay, we have an incredible team coming in. Indiana beat us, I think, 4 or 5 times last year. No, actually, no. Way more. 7 times, 7, 8 times. We got to play defense. We got to move the ball. They want to play fast. We got to sprint back. We got to take guys serious. But we're trending towards the right direction right now, so I'm happy.
That's Giannis Antetokounmpo. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. So how do you stop getting offered annoying roles in rom-coms that pay you $15 million? If you're Matthew McConaughey, you make a stand and say no thank you and move your family to a ranch in Texas. On the Good Trouble podcast, McConaughey said he had to leave Hollywood because of rom-com roles. The Dazed and Confused star said it was a scary move, and at one point he thought he might have to get another job like teach at a high school, until he found out they make nowhere near $15 million. Having summers off only goes so far. If your favorite Ghostbuster was Ray Stantz, this might bring you down. Dan Aykroyd says he has no interest in playing the role again. The Saturday Night Live alum and original cast member has played the character over the course of 40 years and says the franchise is in good hands with actors like Paul Rudd and Carrie Coon moving forward. Glicked's weekend is here, and Wicked and Gladiator have high hopes for a box office splash. Wicked is expected to be the box office winner, with Universal Studios hoping for a $100 to $110 million opener. Paramount is hoping Gladiator 2 pulls in about $65 million, which would be a healthy start for a film that cost $250 million to make. Even those healthy estimates would have this twosome fall short of Barbenheimer's opening weekend, which pulled in $235 million a year and a half ago. Actress Rosemary DeWitt recently appeared on the Drew Barrymore Show and said her husband, Ron Livingston, was so despised for his role as Jack Berger on Sex and the City that he couldn't even walk in New York City without rabid fans yelling and screaming at him. Ironically, when Livingston wanders through an office, he gets constant reminders about his TPS reports. Guy can't catch a break. If the Academy Awards have any meaning at all, they will nominate Denis Villeneuve for Best Director for Dune 2. Those are the words of actor Josh Brolin, who seems serious, adding he might quit acting altogether if his friend is not nominated for Best Director. Yeah, me too. The first Dune received 10 Oscar nominations in 2022, but not for Best Director, which obviously does not sit well with the No Country for Old Men actor. Thespians do tend to be a bit dramatic, but I hope Brolin doesn't quit acting. He's pretty good at it. Those of you who are shower indifferent, love camping in mud, and would like a shot at a serious injury might be interested to know that headliners for 2025's Coachella have been announced. Lady Gaga, Green Day, Post Malone, and Travis Scott will perform, and there will be an appearance by Yo Gabba Gabba. Can't hardly wait to not attend. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
It is going to be mostly cloudy today with a high near 40 this afternoon. The wind will be out of the northwest at 5 to 15. Tonight, cloudy, low in the mid-20s. Tomorrow, it'll be mostly cloudy again with a high in the upper 30s to near 40. Sunday, cloudy with a high in the low 40s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Current temp now 37.
That's your WCFW and the TAP Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at WCFW.FM or thetap.fm. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.